Hello rodents, once again this is FrostedMouse with the Big Cheese broadcasting from the Mun base. Yes, today it is the Mun base. We're playing Kerbal Space Program. That means there is no moon, there is only a Mun. We're actually going to try to build a Mun base. We'll start a brand new game. We will call this the Big Cheese, and let's pick a flag. No, I've not put a custom flag in yet. Yes, I plan on doing that eventually. But for now, we'll just go with that. Why not? Okay, here we are. Little flag, little thingies. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So if we're building a base on the moon, I suppose we need a control pod that will land first and be the basis of the moon. Sure, why not? Let's start with one of these. I love this pod. This is amazing. All these windows, when you can actually sit inside this pod and see out all those windows, and it's beautiful. This was actually done by a modder to the game. Her designs were well received, so the developers brought her on and made her an actual part of the game. It was like amazing. So anyway, the only mod I have is Mechanical Jeb. I do use Mechanical Jeb for some assistance, like how much does my surface, much does my package weigh, and what are all my speeds and stuff. And yes, okay, I'm cheating, doesn't matter. I'm not going to fly with Jeb, I'm just making note and using all the data that I get from Jeb. Alrighty. What else are we going to send into space with this thing? This one should be the main section. Let's make this really hard to get up. Here we go. Just one of these. Let's stick this out here on the side like that. Looks beautiful. Where's the big one? There's that big one. And we'll put this one right on top of it. We gotta kind of rotate a little bit. Not that way. There we go. Whatever. Yeah, there we are. And then we'll put like an antenna up here. This is gonna be like our transmission tower. Now none of this stuff actually does anything. At this point in time, it looks cool. That's the long and short of that. We'll just sit that right there. Just okay, maybe not. Let's put it like right there. There we go. Now it's floating there. Put it there. There. That works. Now it's in that corner. It'll stick up and point out and do its things, and we'll put some stuff in there. Hopefully we're not going to be going anywhere. This is a thermometer, it tells us temperature. We'll put that right there, sure, because this is going to be a science research. This detects gravity, so we'll stick that on there too, and not that way, hopefully. There we go. It detects gravity. This is barometric pressure. There's no atmosphere on the Mun, so we're not too worried about it. But we also want some of these, because these are going to make things neat too. And let's see here. It's kind of difficult to see what's going on here. There we go. We'll put one there, and we'll put one over here too. There we go. And that's fine. Actually, you know, we'll go up a little bit higher. And there we go. That works fine. Sure. This thing is going to be impossible to get into space. Do you realize that? Okay, let's also put some crew storage on here, I guess. Where the heck is it? There it is. Crew storage. Just like that. Now we have some crew storage. Okay, and this will sit down on the moon. Let's put a Clampatron docking port right here on the side. Kind of like that. That looks about right. We won't put anything over there. We'll just have a docking port over here and a docking port in the back. So we can send up more stuff and try to dock it up with this and make things. Those are horribly off center, aren't they? Okay, that looks better. Okay, and then we'll put feet on this. Which ones do we want? These feet or these feet? These feet. There's the big feet. Let's put like 4 of them on there. There we go. There we go. And then we can throw those feet down, and there it is. There's our science research facility, the beginning of it. Actually, let's also, since we're sending this up there, let's throw a big battery pack on here. Just one, not multiples. A big battery pack on here, because this is not going to be the main system, but you know, it's got to have something. And we'll throw like a small so which one is that? That's the it tells me these things and I just can't read. That's the problem. Don't know how to read. I can't read. Okay. OX4. I thought it had a telling me what size it was. I don't remember. I don't see the size anymore. These are the. Let's not use that one. Let's use the big one here. Let's see. But it's. I don't know which one it is. We'll just use this one. I don't care. There. So I put a little solar panel on there, which will charge the battery down here, which will keep everything running. And we need lights. They need lights. They need to be able to see. Seeing is a good thing. I mean, this is a moon base. It's going to be dark. And we want to be able to see. There we go. Now we can see. Actually, let's put this right over the hatchway, just kind of like that. Hopefully they won't block it. They can still get out. Alright, and here's our payload. And if we just throw it to the launch pad real quick, just we kind of look at it. There it is. And we have Jebediah Kerman. For those of you who don't know, Jebediah is the best Kerbal pilot in the Kerbal Space Program. And, okay, well apparently Jebediah can't. He just lets go when he gets out of something. Okay, get back in there, Jeb. Go, 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 go. Okay, get back on. There you are. And if we put the gear down, this should stand up nice. And there it is. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that's how our base is going to sit, right there. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Okay. We do need a ladder down here so we can get to the ground. But other than that, I think we're done here. So we'll just end this flight. Get back in here to the vehicle assembly building. Throw a ladder on here. Just a little bit of utilita. Like that. There it is. Beautiful. That'll get us down to the ground when we get to space. Okay, a few things we do want. Not that. A few things we do want. We want. How do we want to get this to space? That's going to be our big thing. We need a payload. Nice. This is the payload. What am I talking about? We need a good method of doing stuff, and I'm kind of upset that Jebediah is our first pilot, because generally these things crash and burn, and one thing I've decided to do for the video is not end any flight until it comes to an end, either through victory or defeat. So this could be kind of interesting. Structurally, we need a decoupler there, so I'm not going to put anything down below it. It's just a crew pod and a little science room. Okay, and let's okay, we're going to need assistance for getting to the planet. We're going to put fuel, a little fuel tank here, just a tiny little fuel tank. This is going to help us land. So let's actually put this as a storage tank. Let's put this storage tank up here. There we go. And use these tiny little boosters. And just use like 3 of them. That's going to get us down to the moon, hopefully. And we can span that with just a little bit of... that's not gonna... Yeah, that'll do it. And a little bit more. There we go. Span that with a little bit of ladder there, so it looks good. Oh god, I put multiples on there. Oh, that's not how this is supposed to work. Get off there. Get off there. Just one ladder. That's all I want. One ladder in the front. Why is it so difficult? I don't know. But there it is. Okay, and that should allow us to get up here and get down here and move around. Okay. Time to move this up a little bit so we can put things together. see, control propulsion. There we go. Put a big fuel tank here. How much is this? It's 13 tons. Oh goodness, a lot of weight there. You know, I'm going to try and see if we can get away with skippers. There's the skipper. Boop, there's a skipper. Isn't it beautiful? All right, and this is a concept I've picked up. It works relatively well in all situations. So this should get us into space, hopefully. Also want to add something here. These are control modules. This is what's called an SAS. It keeps your ship going upright, mostly. Don't tell Jebediah. So, also something else that's overly good, which we'll throw on here. Hopefully we won't need it. Is RCS. RCS is a neat little thing that, again, helps keep this ship upright. And the reason I don't mind stacking stuff down here is because when this decouples, we're just going to have this upper section here, and that's all. That's it. That's the end, the long and short of it. This is what's going to be the problem. This structure here is horribly, horribly unbalanced. Oh God, it's not going to end pretty. Trust me. So. Okay, I need structural things. This is probably the most boring part of the video right here, where I'm actually building stuff. So we'll see what happens. And then we put these on there at roughly that height. There we go. Beautiful. Everything looks good. I have to do this a couple more times. Some more right there. And, yeah, and some more right there. Or not. There we are. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now we've got a ballistic missile. And, you know, it doesn't do anything. This increases drag. I wonder if what is the drag of one of these pipes? The drag is like 0.2. So the nose cone... Okay, so they make these nose cones that go like that, okay? The nose cone has a drag of 0.3. Okay? Alright, wonderful. These great big tubes, their drag is only 0.2. So putting a nose cone on makes them worse? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is look at these little couplers here. And we need to split these little things up. So we're going to go like this and grab these, both of them. Like this, and grab these two, and okay, and then we'll swap these. So we're going to start with these, then move to these, then to these. That's how this is going to work. So it's very easy. All we need is fuel, and we send fuel from this pipe to this pipe, from these pipes to these pipes, and then from these pipes into the center pipe. Now basically what happens here is these pipes transfer fuel. It doesn't matter where they're at on these, they transfer fuel. So all these engines are going to fire, and they're going to use all the fuel in this container up first. Then we'll throw those off and let them crash back into the ground. Then we'll use all the fuel out of these containers, and then the same thing, throw them into the ground. And then we'll use all the fuel out of these containers, and we'll throw them into the ground. And then we'll have the center container, which will help, hopefully, continue us on into orbit, and there won't be any problems. And that is all. Hopefully, you know, stranger things have happened. The next thing, which is very important, is space tape. That's what the EAS4 strut connector. You know, normally I would go over all these things. Yeah, I will. Okay, the Kerbal Space Program. Real quick, Kerbals are not meant to be in space. This is very apparent from every bit of flavor text you read. I'm not going to read everything because there's just too much stuff and it would spoil the magic and wonder of the game. But just certain things like the space tape, as I call it, the EAS4 strut connector. It's manufactured by Curlington Model Rockets and Paper Products Incorporated. Okay, now the description for this is: the strut connector is highly regarded by many spacecraft engineers. Wait, hold on a minute. The strut connector is highly regarded by many spacecraft engineers as they help in constructing more stable spacecraft. Once both sides are connected, the structural beam is created to link both ends, allowing for sturdier and heavier construction. This is space tape. This holds the freaking world together. And if you put space tape on your rocket in this kind of configuration here, you can be assured that it will remain in a relatively spaceship shape. If you do not put space tape on your rocket in approximately this configuration here, you cannot be assured that this will stay in a relatively rocket shape. Because what will end up happening is these things will wobble around and blow off, and things will blow up, and it will just, everything will die horribly. So, alright. Another thing that's very useful inside of the atmosphere is these little winglets. I don't worry about putting them anywhere except on the booster rockets that we're going to be jettisoning. That's a very hard word to say. Jettisoning. There we go. While we're in the atmosphere, because once we're out of the atmosphere, obviously they're not worth anything. Okay, so here's our Moon Lander version 1, and we will call this the Moon Lander version 1. And I always put version 1 because eventually this thing, we'll be lucky if this gets to the moon. And if it does get to the moon, it'll be even luckier if it lands, because that's, oh my god, that's... Okay, well, anyway, save it, launch it, there we go. And we have Jebediah Kerman. Like I said, he is the best Kerbal pilot. If anyone can get us to the moon, Jebediah will be able to do it. How you feeling, Jeb? He's looking ready. Very ready. Okay, this thing looks a little wobbly already. We're going to turn on the SAS that keeps us in orbit and fire! There we go. It's not climbing too fast, but we have plenty of fuel. Plenty of time. Jebediah is loving it. Look at him grin. Amazing. Amazing. Something's doing something. We're doing fine. Everything stay together. Stay together. And Jebediah is just exuberant as he's now roughly a kilometer off the ground. It's looking good. This is actually doing a lot better than I thought it was going to do. I figured this tower was really going to offset the weight, and it was just going to fly around in a circle, like spiral to ultimate destruction. But it doesn't look too bad. I mean, we're doing pretty good. We're going a little slow. I'm afraid if we just in our first stage, which is going to happen here in about 2 seconds, we're going to lose a lot of that speed. And oh no, something happened. What the hell is happening? What the hell is going on here? Okay, well there's that stage. Oh no, something blew up. We've lost our rocket completely. We're falling back to Earth. This is not a good thing. This is, oh god, we're aiming straight down now. Go ahead and get rid of that rocket. We've got to save this. There we go. We're saving it. 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 There we go. And we're still going down. Jebediah, I hope you live. Oh no. We've lost... An engine has just fallen off the jet completely, and now we're in a terrible spiral. Get rid of that engine completely. Oh no, this is not going to end well for Jebediah. Jebediah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Jebediah. He's still happy. So wait, we can save this. Ready? Ready? We're right above the ground. Just a little bit above the ground. We gotta wait. We gotta wait. We're ready. We're about to. We're going to EVA Jebediah. We're going to save his Kerbal butt. Ready? 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 Go! He didn't live. If he had stayed in the pod, he would have lived. Oh my god. Oh no. Jebediah. I have no idea what happened there. That was really, really bad. And everything died. Okay, well, here we are. You know, extend the... There we go. Turn on the gravitron. Turn on the temperature gauge. Turn on the lights. Oh, that was horrible. Okay. In flight. Yes, in the flight. Let's go ahead and just try that one more time, because Jebediah will come back to us. They always respawn if you just restart the flight. I'm not sure what happened there, because it seemed like we had everything going pretty good, and it just all of a sudden fell apart. So we'll try it one time. There we go. Good. Takeoff. About 150 meters per second before we hit 10,000 kilometers, or 10,000 meters or 10 kilometers. So that's the ideal speed to be at when we get there. So we can, between 150 and 175 is what we need to be right there. I think we're going to hit that. We're going to be awful close. So this should get to orbit. We should be able to hit a good stable orbit and maybe get to the moon. Look at that. It's very nice. So we're still doing good. We're about 9,150. We're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Everything is looking good. And there's our 10,000. We're going to roll this a little bit, very gently. We're going to roll it down to about a 45-degree angle. There it is. See that? And I'm going to use mechanical jeb and get my orbital and surface information. So I don't have to go out to the map view. I can just kind of look and see what's going on. And we can see our apoapsis is about 15 kilometers. We've lost those rockets, so we'll drop them off. They'll fall back to Earth. Look at that. Beautiful. Just the way those stages are supposed to separate. Jebediah is just ecstatic. Elated, even. I'm actually kind of surprised myself. So we're moving right along. And this is the thing. Once that apoapsis gets to about 80,000 kilometers, or 80,000 meters, 80 kilometers, that's where we're going to have a stable orbit. Anything below 80 kilometers, and the orbit's going to slow you down. You're just going to fall back into the planet, go kaboom, just like Jebediah did last time. I mean, we definitely don't want to kill Jebediah. Jebediah is like the best Kerbal pilot ever, so you know we want to kind of keep Jebediah around as long as possible. I want to pull this orbit up just a little bit there because we're going on real low here, and we really need to get the apoapsis up a bit. And I mean, it's only 20 seconds to our apoapsis, so we really got to put some push here. We're not going to make it. We've got plenty of fuel left. We're doing good. Really need to get this stuff taken care of. Okay. Alright, time to apoapsis coming up. Above 30 seconds. That's good. Gives us plenty of time. Get everything taken care of. This thing's wobbling a little bit, but we're not doing too bad. Not doing too bad at all. Okay, there we go. 40. It's going to be difficult. I don't know if we're going to make orbit here. We might. Let's see here. 40. 50. Come on. Fight a little bit harder. Get this thing up. 60. Come on. Jebediah, stop screaming. It's fine. 70. I can't tell if Jebediah is screaming or laughing. He's crazy. 80. We're going to run to about 90. 90. Cut the engines. There we are. Beautiful. There it is. There's our beautiful little arc into space. We're going to add one of these things here. And There we go. Beautiful. That'll put us on a nice holding orbit. That's way too freaking high. Drop that down. There we go. That's still a little too high. A little bit more. And that puts us at about 121. That's fine. That's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, get back here. Turn on the RCS. Why? Because the RCS is going to save us. It's going to what's going to let us actually get turned around here, where we can make this maneuver. There we go. I don't think the RCS is firing, is it? I don't think I put any RCS jets. I put RCS fuel. So I've got all this RCS fuel, all this monopropellant, and no RCS rockets. Great. So I just carried all this dead weight into space. Beautiful. We're in space. Okay, we have 46 seconds to our T-minus time when we're going to have to burn again for almost a minute. So I'm going to fire a little bit early. I'm going to fire about 20 seconds early. That makes sure we can get a good hard burn in, and we can watch this. This is our periapsis. That's what the other side of the planet right now. Right now we're negative 517 kilometers. We're just going to crash right into the planet at about 20 seconds, so about right now. Go ahead and burn. These are eventually going to drop off here. We'll watch our periapsis come up, quickly come up. It needs to come up to about 90 kilometers at a minimum. We're just not going to make it. And there those are. Boom. There those go. Let's pull up a little bit. There we go. 90 and 420. So this is going to be quite a large burn. We lost a couple engines there, so we've still got. You can see the time is spazzing out here. Quite a large burn here. Need to see if we can make orbit, because that's going to be the big thing. If we can't make orbit around the planet Kerbin, there's no point. We're not going to make it. So we're coming up. We are at negative 300. 91 apoapsis. And it's very quickly increasing. You see, we got to be at about 2,300 meters per second for a good stable orbit, approximately, and that will get us in a good holding orbit around Kerbin. There are two ways to leave the planet. One is to go into what's called a parking orbit, which is what I'm going to do because it gives you a lot more time to think, a lot more time to breathe. It's a lot easier. The second way is just a giant burn mess, which is, you know where you're going, you've planned everything out, and you're going. There we go. Now we've got an orbit. We've got to get this orbit up to about 80 kilometers at the minimum, and here it comes. We're going to throttle down so we can name it a little bit. It's way too high. There, that's close enough. That puts us at almost 81. We're well out of the atmosphere. Now our apoapsis, good lord, is 156. This is going to be a horrible. It's not too bad. It's definitely off. 80 kilometers here and 156 there, but it's not too bad. Okay, here's the MUN. The MUN is where we're going. The first thing we need to do is align our orbit with the MUN. Because our orbit is not aligned with the MUN at all. So we're going to add a little maneuver here. And we're going to zoom in on the planet. You can see the planet real nice there. And we're going to pull this down. Oh, no. We're going to pull this up. And what we plan on doing, let's focus on the planet. There we go. What we want to do is get basically this line to match the little green line, and that's just about right. There we go. That looks good, and you'll know it because these will swap places there. There we go. And then we need to make that burn, which is in T-minus 12 minutes. Thankfully we can do this here while we're waiting. Let's go ahead and just aim towards the right side. Jump back in here. We can see the rocket on your little nav ball here. You'll see here as I spin around, the little red mark is the opposite of the direction we want to be going. I'm sorry, not the opposite direction we want to be going. That's the opposite of a direction, but not necessarily where we want to be going. This blue mark over here that I'm flailing about wildly trying to get at is where we actually need to go to be aimed in the right direction for the burn we're going to make. And I'm going to cheat a little bit. If you're not familiar with this game, you can kind of cheat. When you get to a point... Why am I spinning wildly out of control? There we go. Let's just do this. Alright, there we go. Beautiful. Now go the way we need to go. Go there. There you go. Okay. When you get to the point where you really need to be, you can speed up time a little bit. And that's what's going to get us the 11 minutes left to our time. And when you speed up time, your rotation freezes. So I can stop it there and make some real fine-tune adjustments. Stop it again and move us towards our destination. Now we only need 167 meters per second to align the orbits. We got to make this as close as possible. You want your orbits to be about the same inclination, because even 1 degree, when you're talking about, hundreds of thousands of kilometers, 1 degree means you'll miss it by 100 kilometers easy. So you really have to be careful and watch exactly what's going on there to try and get everything set up just perfect. I've been to the Mun a couple times. I would really prefer to go to Minos, which is the second moon of the Kerbal planet. The gravity is much lower there. It's much easier to land. But this is the big cheese and the moon base, so we have to make a moon base in Kerbal Space Program. I don't know how well this is going to go. I really don't. The last time I tried this, it did not go so well, we'll say. I actually tried to do this particular Let's Play before, and I ended up spending about 4 hours trying to get a moon base set up, and never really did get the moon base set up properly. It's not. You can say it's not rocket science. Technically, it is rocket science, and that's the problem. It really is rocket science. Okay, 7 seconds, 6 seconds. We're going to go ahead and burn now, because I always burn a little bit early. Watch those numbers come down. When they get real close. Oh no, we're way off course. Way off course. Stop. Hopefully that'll put us relatively close there. Let's see. And that's not too bad. It's real close. Okay. Now the easiest way to approach the moon is to find the moon, get facing right at the moon, and pick a point approximately 9 degrees. Right there. And we'll first we're going to get rid of this maneuver because we're done with that, and you'll see where we're at here. And these lines generally really about where you want to start. Okay, so if you start there, do a thrust out, and that should put us real close to intersecting the moon. Okay, see, there's our intersection point. This actually tells you where there's the closest approach. There's where the moon is. We can actually move in here and grab this. And, nope, that's not what I want to do. Grab this and slide this around real gentle to hit the moon exactly where we want to hit it. Boom! Look at that. See how that just flew off into the cosmos there? That is a moon intercept. You see it right there. There's the moon. That's where it'll be when we hit it. We should have plenty of fuel to get there. Once we get there, we've got the rockets on top. That will help us land and get slowed down. So let's go ahead and get to this point. Let's find out where that nav point is going to be on our nav ball here. There it is. I see it already. Let's stop the movement and try to get over there. Really wish I would have put some RCS on this. That would have helped me out so much at this point in time. I mean, we would have actually probably gotten somewhere in less than like 5 minutes, because the movements are very sluggish. It's a big rocket with a lot of weight, and we're just taking forever to move it around. So, okay, and there we go. Good. Let's go ahead and get this little guy. You watch him spin, 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 spin. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow it down. There we go, and we're almost there. We're really close. Let's go ahead and turn the SAS on. That'll keep us relatively pointed in the right direction. We got about 1 minute. We're going to jump in here because I want to see this puppy burn. Actually, I can't do it from in here. I really need to do it from out here. Why? Because I want to be able to watch this line and see the intercept line. That's the big thing here. We are aimed in the right direction. This says a 1 minute burn, so I'm actually going to start about 30 seconds early. The burn path here, it assumes instantaneous changes, which we know can't happen. So we have to kind of adjust for it. So I'll start about 30 seconds early. That should put me just about where I need to be by the time the burn is over. Hopefully I've got enough fuel to make it out there. Shouldn't have a problem. And here we go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and burn. Here we go. Burning, burning, burning. 58 seconds, and we can watch this go. And we're still beautiful. This is all beautiful. This is just looking nice. I love the apoapsis 400 kilometers. The problem is, you see we got 600 meters per second to go, and we're just barely moving this line. The last, we'll probably won't get out to about here, and the last 100 meters per second push us all the way out here. It takes so much force just to get off the planet. It's just amazing the amount of force required. And here we go, 300, 200, and watch this last 100 kilometers per hour. There we go, the last 200 kilometers per hour, I'm sorry. We had 800 to go, and the last 200, there we go, the last 100 kilometers is going to take us the rest of the way. We're going to slow it down because we don't want to miss this. This is going to be very, very close. And boom, there it is. Whoa, almost overshot it. But that will put us into a moon intercept. And look at that orbit. That just is ridiculous. We can zoom out here a little bit and see exactly what's going on here. If I miss, that'll put me in an orbit around the sun. An apoapsis of roughly 12 billion meters. Okay. Oh wait, I think it's the periapsis. It is the periapsis. The apoapsis is 13 billion meters. But we're not going to hit that. We're actually going to intercept with the moon right here. It's a beautiful intercept pattern. So let's go ahead and get rid of that because we don't need that there. But this is our intercept pattern. Once we intercept with the moon, we're going to hit it right about here. We're going to go ahead and fast forward time because this is literally, the interception here is like 6 hours away for the moon encounter, the Mun encounter, because this is actually called the Mun. It's not the moon. And I'll jump in here real quick and we'll go down here. And you can see this is the Mun. There's a little information about it, you know, that tells you it. And, you know, it's like 200 kilometer radius, mass, and the gravity. Now, the thing is, the creators of Kerbal Space Program, they tried to keep some things constant, like Earth gravity and the moon gravity. These are pretty relative. The problem is the sizes. The spectrum of size is way off. There's something like, if I remember correctly, I watched a video about it. The Earth size is something like a third of the size it should normally be, so the gravity has to be the same. So the Earth is something like 8 times as dense as it should be. It just would not make sense in an actual world to be that dense. But yeah, so let's actually watch the little pod. There it is with our Mun Lander 1 with Jebediah Kerman in there hiding from us. We're going to watch it from the moon, or from the Mun, and we're going to warp time at about 1,000 times. Look at it go. And there it is, flying through space. Flying up as the moon slowly draws closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. And eventually here, very, very soon, boom, there it is. There is our moon intercept. Now the question is, do we just want to land on the moon, or do we actually want to set up a trajectory around the moon so we actually have an orbit? Right now we have neither. So let's go ahead and try to set up an orbit around the moon. So we can go ahead and, whoops, there we are, hit an orbit for the moon. See how that is. That's way too high. We're setting an orbit here. There we go. Let's move this in a little bit. What's our apoapsis? Smoosh. There we go. 98 kilometers. That's fine. Periapsis here. Okay. We're trying to get everything. There we go. This is going to be way, way, way high. 69,234. That will put us in an orbit around the moon. The burn time is not even a full second here, because it's so. The further you get away from the large gravity sources like Kerman over here, I think that's the name of the planet, Kerbin. I'm sorry, like the large gravity sources like Kerbin, the harder or the less thrust you actually have to use to make any changes. Honestly, the way out at like Minos, which is actually out here, there's Minos, the thrust required is so minute to make any changes at all. It's just, you wouldn't believe the tiny, tiny, tiny amounts of thrust. And these are the things that this game basically has a working Newtonian physics engine. Now, how lifelike is it? I don't know. I'm not a rocket scientist. But it seems pretty interesting. You actually spend quite a bit of time calculating, and the tiny changes, from what I understand, are very, very similar to things NASA has to do to actually make this. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I totally missed. That's the problem with warp right there. I'm going to try to correct this because we are way out of here, way, way, way out where we shouldn't be. Okay, okay, and because I missed that completely, and then we're just going to X that there because that's. Oh, go ahead and burn some more. That's fine. And then X that there. And since we got 2 minutes here, let's try to get this into an orbit of some sort. That will work. Spin this thing around. You have to be very careful with warp because you will completely miss it, just like I did there. You'll completely miss your burn point, and then there you are. You're just going to be sitting there going, "Oh well, you know, I really should have done this, but I completely missed it." And that's part of what I was talking about. In space, it's so easy to miss something, and I can't find. There it is. Beautiful, and stop. Okay, and again, I'm kind of cheating there. I'm using the problem where you stop. It's only a 17-second burn. We should have plenty of fuel to make this burn, so it shouldn't be a problem. And I'm going to start about 8 seconds early to get this burn, and that should put us in a good orbit around the moon. And then we can choose a nice spot to land. Where it's not too bad. And we should still have plenty of fuel. Oh yeah, I've got plenty of fuel left. I'm actually going to want to jettison a lot of that fuel before I land on the moon, because that's going to cause problems if I don't. So here we go. Burning the orbit. You can watch the orbit shift, shift, and shift, and shift, and shift some more. And there we go, and the perigee is coming up, 40, 50. That's beautiful. That's more than enough. Because there's no atmosphere on the moon, this will be a perfect orbit. I don't have to worry about it decaying at all. And just to lower our apogee orbit a little bit, let's get it down here where we can get a good look at the moon. That's about 52. That'll be fine. And then we can spin this around, where we can fire what's known as retrograde, which is against the direction that we're flying, so we can drop this orbit down a little bit. Yes, and it shouldn't be too hard here. We've got almost everything lined up. Boom, beautiful lineup. Another minute and a half, and a 3-second burn will put us into a beautiful low holding orbit around the moon, where we can find a suitable landing spot for our science base. And there we go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And I'm just going to wait till perfect. T minus 0 seconds. And stop. There we go. Beautiful. It's even a little higher than we'd planned. So there we are. We are on, well, not on, but we have, let's get around to the light side of the moon now. Spin, 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 little orbiter. Come around here. There we go. And where do we want to land? I mean, we could land in this great big crater here. Let's go ahead and target the moon. We could land in this little crater here. We could land over here on the just plateaus. The last couple times, there's actually, you can't really see it. Right here, there's a big area, and there's a valley right beside it. I really wanted to land there and explore that. Oh, that's kind of neat too. Look at that. The way the shadows bounce off of that thing. There's a crater within a crater. Craterception. Okay. Let's try to land this puppy. Let's just put it down. Well, let's put it down right here. I mean, that looks like an easy place to put it down. It's right between a couple craters. We can explore those. Let's make a maneuver about here. That gives us 2 minutes to get in, and we just want to drop our thrust down until we're going right over it, kind of on a low angle. You can see there, we're going to be going right over that area where we want to land, and it's going to be real low there. So that should give us a good area to land in. And what I'll do is, once I start going down, I'm going to jettison the last of the large fuel tank reserve, because we're not going to need that once we land on the moon. And hopefully the little engines that we have will allow us to land safely. That is the hope. Now, understand that Jebediah is probably not too trusting of us at this point. So we have to kind of convince Jebediah that this is the right thing to do, and that Jebediah should trust mission control. I have to wonder, you know, what the little Kerbals think of all this. Jebediah seems excited anyway. He's a brave little space cadet. How's Jebediah doing? He is screaming, I think. It looks like Jebediah is just screaming his little head off. Yeah, his tongue's flailing. He is screaming. He is terrified. I don't know why Jebediah is terrified. You know, we've got all the way to the Mun. I mean, seriously, Jebediah. Chill, dude. Okay, and we have another 1 minute before we get to this point. We're going to watch here as the line moves. Our orbital track moves right into the area we want it to be in about 2 seconds there. There we go. A little bit more than that, about 8 seconds. And then when it comes down, then we're going to control everything from the internal view. That would hopefully... There we go. Burn, burn, burn. Very, very light burn. Very, very slow burn. I just want to get this right in there. Just a perfect... And beautiful. It puts us right over where we want to land. And there it is. Okay, the rest of this is going to be from in here. To try and... I do like to cut down on space debris whenever I get the chance. So we're going to attempt something here that is a little difficult, that I've only done a couple times before. There we go. And what we're doing now is we're getting this into a nice... This thing is spinning out of control wildly, isn't it? Okay, let's try to keep this straight. Okay, R, T, stop, 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 stop. There we go. Okay. Get this thing lined up, and T. Okay. Alright. Get up in a nice perpendicular orbit, and there we go. We've stopped. Let's spin this thing around so it's like that. Okay, close enough. Ready? Now we do it. And we go this way. And that little thing right there is what's causing all the issues. But we're in a good orbit. This should do what I want it to do. Ready? And detach. There it is. Goodbye. Now we've got now we've got a much easier to control pod here. That will crash into the ground. Where is it we're trying to land? It's way over there. We've still got quite a ways to go. Okay, stop moving. Oh no, I've gotten rid of my SAS module, so okay. First things first, we're turning on caps lock. Caps lock does is it translates all our movements into what's called fine movements. It makes the little movements that we're creating much more fluid, much softer, so that we can kind of keep this thing under control in a little bit easier method there. The next thing we need to do is aim at the retrograde, which is this little thing right here. This is the retrograde. What that means is this is the opposite of the way we're moving. Hopefully we can get aimed at the retrograde, because this is not easy. And there. We're kind of aimed at the retrograde. Okay, and there we go. That's beautiful. And there we go. We're almost there. Let's go ahead and put the gear down. Oh wait, we can't do that yet. Now put the gear down. The gear down, because optimism. We want optimism. We are going to land this thing. It's going to be beautiful, hopefully. And, you know, there's not going to be any problems with it. Jebediah is still screaming his head off. It's okay, Jebediah. You're just going to the moon. It's not like you're going to die. Well, okay, maybe it is like you're going to die, but not right this second. So let's go ahead and correct the movement. We've got to aim right at that retrograde. And we're getting to a point. We're coming down because the retrograde is going to change. We're going to speed up a little bit here. A little bit of time warp. You can watch the two things we watch are this right here. This is your true altitude. And we're past the point there. We're going to start firing retrograde here very shortly. At about 10,000 or 10 kilometers, we're going to start firing retrograde. Because we want to be able to slow this thing down so we can come to a good stop. And come on. There we go. Okay, so we're at about 10 kilometers there. Traveling pretty quick. We're going to start firing. There we go. Relax. I really wish I could put an SAS unit on this thing. So much right now. Okay, stop that. I don't think we're going to make it, actually, at this point in time. I think we're probably going to crash it. There we go. Alright, retrograde. Bring us down. No. Okay, stop. See, we're way too fast, and we're still falling. Yeah, this is going to crash and burn. Jebediah, I hardly knew you, but I don't think we're going to make it. Okay, maybe. Come on. Oh no! Stop! No! Stop it! Okay, bye. Oh, goodness. Okay, so that was not the best idea. Those engines are not going to work, and I do need to put an SAS module on the main unit. So, Jebediah is gone, unfortunately. So, back to the drawing board. First things first, structural. A decoupler, just not that big. Let's not get crazy. And not that small. We need something moderate. Yeah, like that. Put a decoupler up here. We're going to put an advanced SAS unit on there. That will save our butts. We're getting rid of those, and we're adding some decouplers and these things here. So where's our decouplers? There are the decouplers. I'm putting those decouplers right there. I need 3 of them. That looks good. That should be more than enough. And then these engines, where they go. These engines. Okay. And there we go. See, now look, isn't that beautiful? Those engines should be more than enough. And then I can decouple them and they'll just fly off and they'll be fine. I'm actually going to skip a bit. We're going to try to get this into a better orbit, I suppose. Oh yeah, I'm also going to put on control. I want some freaking RCS tanks, or RCS pods. I didn't put any on last time. It was like I put on the RCS fuel and I carried it all the way up there and then didn't even friggin' use it. So there we go. RCS is on there now. That's going to be a lot better. I'm probably going to record through the launch and skip most of the moon experience. What the hell has happened here? My staging has gone all to hell. This should not happen to... Okay. 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 Is that... And then... Where? Okay. That's the final stage. That's that stage. That's these stages. That's fine. That's that stage. And then these should fire at that time. When... No, that shouldn't fire at that time. What the freak? Go down here, and then this stage, no, this stage, there it is. This should be down here, and that's where these engines are going to fire. Why are these up here? It doesn't make any sense at all. 1, 2, and then these should be down some more. This is what we call a classic staging faux pas. Faux pas. Furple, whatever you want to call it. Okay, those, and then these. Okay, boom. Okay, there's our staging fixed. Again. Okay. Launch. And now we have Bill Kerman. Bill's a very hardy Kerman. Bill knows what's going on. Let's turn the lights on, just so we can see how silly those look. Okay. And... turn the T on the SAS and go once again. Now we should be probably going a little bit slower than last time. That's okay because we added these engines and they weigh a whole lot more. Bill is screaming his head off. He's terrified. He's looking around crazy like he knows Jebediah died, and he's not half the pilot that Jebediah was. Not half the pilot. But it's okay. It really is okay, Bill, because we here at Kerbal Space Industries believe in you. We trust you. We know that you will one day lead us to a proper base on the moon. And there we are. We are going to be in orbit very, very shortly here. There it is, right there. Boom. See, now we actually need to aim a little bit closer to our prograde vector. There it is. That's beautiful. And we're way out. We're just going to stop right now because we're way, 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 way out. And... just kind of trying to eyeball it here. And that looks just about perfect. Probably not going to be able to get it that perfect when we actually make the burn. But, and I'll turn that off. This should be right. And yeah, we're just going to hit the most important parts. And burn! Burn, 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 burn. Get us where we need to go, oh mighty burn of the burn. And we're slowly getting there. Changing our trajectory so we can hit a moon intercept course. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. And boom. And 30, 20, there we go. And we just got the one. That should be enough to get us where we need to go. More than enough. We can watch that abscess fly right on out to the moon. And we can go, fly me to the moon. Yeah, I know, it's horrible there. Go. Fly, my pretty, fly. Only another 100 meters per second. We're going to slow it down just a little bit. We don't want to miss it. And where is it? There it is. Beautiful. That's almost perfect. That is within 0.56 meters, 0.6 meters per second of where we wanted to be. And you can kind of see we got a little bit of a wobble there, but that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. Beautiful. There's our intercept with the mun. We can do it this time. And I showed you last time. You gotta be very careful with the time warp, because you will fly right past things. And there's our moon intersect. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. That perigee at about 40,000. That's just beautiful. We're gonna spin this around just like that. Puts us at about 14,000 and about 82,000. Maybe a little bit higher than that. 37 and 60. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minute and 30 seconds. And we're going to speed up just a hair. We want to get down to about, there we go. We're going to fire in about right now. And there it is. I've not fired those final rockets yet. There they are, and they've got all this fuel here, so we're still doing good. We're about out of electricity, but that's okay. Since we have a Kerbal here, we've got Bill, who is still terrified. We can still launch things and do things, and Bill has complete control. Not. Bill, stop screaming. It's okay. Jesus Christ, we're going to make it. Well, at least I'm going to make it. You might or might not make it. But don't worry. It's going to be fine. Okay, we got about 3 minutes before our burn time. And I'm just going to kind of wing it, because we only need to change 4 meters per second. It's not that big of a change. These little rockets should do just what we needed them to do. Fire the rockets. There they are. They fired. Ready and go. And whoa! Beautiful. I overshot it a little bit. That was what I was kind of worried about, overshooting. But yeah, well, that's fine. That's fine. We'll land just on this side of the crater. Not a problem. And there we go. Now all we have to do is wait. Once again. The big problem we're going to have here is speed. We are going to be traveling so fast when we get back into orbit. As long as we're firing at the retrograde, which is kind of where we're aiming right now, this shouldn't be too difficult. Let's go ahead and get back into the ship. Speed this up, get us around there. Yeah, look at that speed. That speed is ridiculous. There we are. We are... Whoa, we are very, very low. What are you doing? Spin this thing around quick. T. Fire! Those rockets, get that gear down. Oh, shit. No, don't fire at the planet. And this is consequently why it has taken me many times to actually get a lander to the moon. Okay. Try number 3. Several failed attempts later, and here we are. We did actually get this to the moon. I got this to land, and boom, go the advanced SAS model. Watch it go way up in the air. Pow! Just flies off like that. Amazing. We're going to deploy everything here, like the sensors and the antennas and our solar panel. That's it, the solar panel there. There's no audio to this part. For some reason, when recording it didn't record. Boom! There would have been an explosion there as the advanced SAS module crashed into the ground beside the capsule. This was like try 7 or 8. We got another Jebediah. He came with us this time. We're just extending all the radio controls. At this point in time, these don't do anything. They just look neat. And that's all that matters. And these engines, we're going to, boom, there they go. They're gone. And there it is, our wonderful little moon base. And we retract our ladder, or not retract, extend our ladder, as it were. Just throw that out there. Watch it slide on down. And there it is. It's really nice. We did actually get a successful landing. Going to turn all of our equipment on here. There's our gravitron and our temperature-tron. I'm going to call them trons now. That's just fine. I thought we had something else on here, but we don't. Those are the only two things. The battery pack, kind of watching it charge a little bit there. That should be sufficient to keep us running. Turn the lights on so we can see what's going on there. And there it is. It's beautiful. Let's go ahead and take Jebediah on a little EVA, and he flops off the station for some reason, and boop, there he goes. Oh, God. Jebediah, what are you doing, you idiot? Jebediah is making moon angels, and he is excited about it. Look at that little guy smile as he flails. And get up, Jebediah. All right, we're going to claim this moon, this mun, in the name of the big cheese. So let's put the flag over here on this little black dot over here because it looks good. And just a little further, and come on, Jebediah, plant the flag for us. There it is, planting the flag on the mun. Boom, there it is, and there's our flag. Isn't it beautiful? We will call this. Okay, well, I've actually turned the caps lock key on. This is the Big Cheese Mun base. And in the plaque text, Jebediah was here. That sounds great. Because Jebediah is here. He happened to come with us this time. Alright, and there it is. It's all up and running and beautiful. Jebediah looks so happy. Look at that little excited little derp face he's got going on there. You gotta use up all his oxygen. Maybe he's suffocating. That's what it is. Okay, well, let's go ahead and fly back to the lander module. That's what makes this cool, is flying on the moon. And I've forgotten the key to go up, so we crash land into the surface and fall down. Ragdoll physics on Kerbals, whatever. There we go. We flying in, grabbing it because Jebediah is the coolest of the cool. We'll take him back into the scientific portion here and take a look at the space. And this pod is just beautiful. You can see the sun up there, up in the sky, and see around, so you can see what's going on. But it's been a long flight, long time actually. It's been several hours. I think it's 10 hours now. So we're going to take Jebediah. Don't fall off. I didn't say get back in the kit. There we go. And we're going to put Jebediah down here in the crew pod. So he's going to be resting in the crew pod. There it is on the moon base. So, yeah, see, there he is. Jebediah Kerman hiding in there. And the battery pack's still charging up, not quite as quick. So we're going to go ahead and turn the lights off here. Let that charge a little bit quicker. Because we're in the bright side of the moon, we don't really need lights right now. Jebediah is sleeping. He doesn't want lights on. And there we are. Big Cheese broadcasting from the start of the moon base. Hopefully we'll have more pods up here. We're going to add a crew chamber and some other stuff to try and make this a proper moon base, a solar array, and maybe even a rover, hopefully. So, see you on the next side. Hopefully not the dark side, the light side. Next time. FrostedMouse signing out.